Okay, review for The Monkey. Osgood Perkins directing. Written by him and Stephen King. I think it's based on a short story by King. Starring Theo James, Tatiana Maslany, Elijah Wood in like one scene. Pretty funny scene. Osgood Perkins is actually in it for one scene. Okay, that was him. That's funny. He plays Uncle Chip. So, I watched this movie. I've watched, I think, most of Osgood Perkins' movies. Wasn't a massive fan of Longlegs. I mean, I didn't hate the movie, but it had, I don't know, that movie had some problems, and in the middle, it's kind of boring. Blackcoat's Daughter, I thought, was better. And I haven't seen Gretel and Hansel. I'll probably end up checking that out soon, but I think this is his most like accessible movie that I've seen. I don't know if you'd say popcorn movie, but I think Longlegs and Blackcoat's Daughter, a lot of people would just find them kind of boring, I think, but this is just more of like a typical dark comedy horror movie. And yeah, I mean, I liked it. I'd probably say it's his best movie that I've seen. So basically this toy monkey, although they say don't call it a toy, Theo James, he has a twin brother, and their father brings home this monkey, and the first scene in the movie is him trying to get rid of it, and then he burns it up, but then I guess it reappears in their house, because it gets destroyed a couple times, but it keeps reappearing and attaching itself to them. And the opening scene's pretty brutal, because this guy gets shot with a harpoon gun, and then it goes back out, takes out all of his guts. I thought that was just like, whoa. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So this movie has a lot of death, a lot of violence. Theo James gets covered in blood. No, like a woman gets blown apart in front of him when he's right next to her, and she just explodes everywhere. A lot of good deaths actually in this movie. So brutal movie. Definitely a dark comedy kind of feel to it because it's so crazy. Theo James is really good, I thought. His son's pretty good. After the first 20 minutes or so, it's pretty much him and his son. And he only sees his son once a year because he wants to keep his distance from everyone because he thinks he's like cursed. He has a half brother. He kind of loses contact with them. The monkey ends up killing his mom because he turns the key trying to kill his brother because they don't like each other, his twin brother. His mom ends up having a brain aneurysm. They said like 1 in 50 million chance. So basically you turn the key and the monkey chooses who it wants to kill. But I don't think it kills the person who turns the key. So that's pretty much the rules. So when his twin brother Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. And that's pretty much like the first 20 minutes. And then after his mom dies, Osgood Perkins and Sarah Levy adopt him. The scene with Osgood Perkins is hilarious. I didn't know that was him, but he looks like Elvis. He kind of looks like Stephen King, but like with Elvis chops. And that scene's funny because he's like, me and your aunt never wanted kids, but we're gonna try to raise you as good as we can, but it's probably gonna be not that good. And he's like, and we're swingers, so there's that. And he ends up dying brutally. When he's hunting, he's sleeping in a sleeping bag, and then he gets run over by a stampeding random bunch of horses, and basically turns him into basically like the inside of a cherry cake. Like, and also what the priest I thought was kind of memorable. Rookie priest is like the worst priest ever. Like Nico Del Rio he's in like 2 scenes, and he's just like, well, you know, she died and it is what it is. And he's like, the famous scripture, it is what it is. It's just like, he's like the worst priest ever. He doesn't die though, I don't think. And then Theo James picks up his son. Elijah Wood is like this self-help, I guess, guru, maybe Christian guru, kind of. He has a book called Jesus Dad. Like, you know, he sells these books, and he says he stole Theo James's power. And then that scene's funny. Elijah Wood is such a weird, interesting actor. I mean, he is Frodo Baggins. And but yeah, that scene's hilarious. And then Theo James is like, well, I never gave you permission to take my power. He's like, well, I just did. He's like, what does he say? He's like, I took your power from your tiny little nuts. And then he's gonna adopt his son, because he only sees him once a year, and basically take all custody away from Theo James. And then Theo James is going to take his son on this trip. They go once a year. He's going to take him to like a horror theme park. And that basically is the start of the actual movie. But yeah, I really like the movie. It's very violent and messed up. I mean, it's Osgood Perkins. You kind of come to expect that. I'm sure when I watch Gretel and Hansel, it'll be the same. He's son of Anthony Perkins, and he's been in. He's an actor too. Like in this, like I said, he plays the uncle. Oh, he's in Wolf as a cop. That's funny. Legally Blonde, The Spies, Star Trek, 2009. So yeah, he's acted in some things. More known as a director. He did an episode of The Twilight Zone as a director, the new one. Oh, he has another Netflix movie called I Am the Pretty Things That Lives in the House. A nervous nurse who scares easily finds herself caring for an ailing horror novelist while living in a house with hidden secrets. Huh. That sounds kind of good. Let's check that out. But yeah, I'll get into spoilers now. I did enjoy the movie. If you haven't seen it, it's only like an hour and a half long. It's not very long. I check it out. Definitely recommend. But so then he learns that his aunt died a brutal death. She falls onto a bunch of fish hooks all over her face. She's pulling them out, and she puts rubbing alcohol on her face. And then she's cooking something on the stove. The fire blows up, causes her head to catch on fire. She runs outside, hits like a signpost right into her face. So she's dead. And like I said earlier, Uncle Chip died, and that was played by Osgood Perkins. So Theo James and his son who doesn't really like him, which I can't blame him, because he only sees him once a year, and he doesn't really give him any good reason why. And then he lies to him and says, I don't have a brother. He says he has like no family because he's doing like a family tree, and yeah, so Theo James lies, says he doesn't have a brother. Then soon after, he learns that he does have a brother, so you know he's a liar to him. And then they go to the house of the aunt, and the saleswoman there, she opens a door, a shotgun falls down, blows her off away, covers him in blood. That's in the trailer. And also another person in this is Rowan Campbell, who of course was in Halloween Ends as Corey. But I actually liked him in this. I didn't know it was him till I was looking at the IMDb, because he wears like a wig and he covers a lot of his face. But he actually finds the monkey, buys it at a garage sale after the aunt dies, and he delivers it to, spoilers, Theo James's brother, who's basically gone insane. He's obsessed with the monkey. He's been trying to find it for years. He finally found it, and he starts turning the key. And then, you know, people around Theo James and his son are dying. A woman in a motel gets electrocuted. He basically, again, explodes. There's definitely some, like, anime deaths in this. Like Japanese anime kind of reminds me of, or like some scenes in like a Tarantino movie, like ultra violence. It's beautifully shot, like all of his movies, I would say. And then he delivers it to him. He kind of wants the monkey back. He regrets it, but the brother's not giving it back. He like basically worships the monkey, turning the key, causing airplanes to fall out of the sky, causing people to get hit by cars. Like in this small town in Maine, tons of deaths. Of course, it's in Maine because it's Stephen King. Most of his stuff is in Maine or the northeast part of the country, the United States. But yeah, it's just a weird, interesting movie. Like when they're kids, like when he's in high school, like he gets bullied by like a bunch of girls. I just thought that was kind of weird and funny. Like Kingston Chan, like she's like, her and another girl are like school bullies, and they bully him. They take his pants. They like throw a bunch of bananas at him. They don't really show what happened with the bananas, but yeah, it's just kind of a weird, interesting tone, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Okay, on the IMDb it says splatter horror. Yeah, definitely a lot of ultra violence, as Clockwork Orange would say. But yeah, I mean, I won't go through the whole plot of the end. The end's pretty crazy and fun. I think Theo James did a really good job. I don't think I've really seen him before. He was in Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant. I don't know. Oh, he's in The Gentleman. I don't know, he's been in a bunch of stuff, but I don't think I've really seen him in any of it. So but yeah, I think that's about it though. If you could do me a favor and smash that like button, that'd be great. It really helps the channel. But yeah, I have the trivia pulled up here. According to the director, the decision to have the monkey bang a drum instead of a cymbals was due to the rights of the cymbal banging version being owned by Disney, as the toy had appeared as a character in Toy Story 3. The cymbal monkey was in Toy Story 3 in the first place because its director is a fan of Stephen King, based on a short story from Stephen King's The Skeleton Crew. Following Stephen King's tradition, the majority of the movie is set in a small town in Maine. Osgood Perkin revealed his approach to the material. I took liberties like a MFer. They had a very serious script. Very serious. I felt it was too serious, and I told them that this doesn't work for me. The thing with this toy monkey is that the people around it all die in insane ways, so I thought, well, I'm an expert on that, but both my parents died in insane, headline-making ways. I spent a lot of my life recovering from tragedy, feeling quite bad. It all seemed inherently unfair. You personalize the grief. Why is this happening to me? But I'm older now, and you realize this shit happens to everyone. Everyone dies. Sometimes in their sleep, sometimes in truly insane ways, like I experienced, but everyone dies. And I thought maybe the best way to approach that insane notion is with a smile. Yeah, the mother keeps saying, everyone dies. She's not much of a consoling person to the kids, because their babysitter dies at a Benihana, gets her head cut off right in front of them because of the monkey. The hotel sign, no food after midnight, is a reference to Gremlins. There is a character referred to in the movie as Torrance, alluding to the Torrance family in The Shining. At the babysitter's funeral her name is revealed as Annie Wilkes. This is the same name as Kathy Bates' character from Misery, also written by Stephen King. Okay. At the end of the film, Bill is killed with the bowling ball that Hal fascinated about killing him with as a child. Oh, that's true. From the very start of the film, people insisted the monkey is never referred to as a toy, nor the end Bill refers to it as a toy, foreshadowing his death when he gets decapitated by a bowling ball. But that's about it, though. Comment below, let me know if you're a fan of Osgood Perkins, and if you're a fan of this movie. So, we'll see you next time.